I think Control Warrior is a very good option. Can Ostkaka adjust to that sort of pressure? We're going to find out because game number 5 is getting underway right now. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. Ostkaka versus RDU.
I feel this has to just be a must-win for Ostkaka here. And we were actually talking about this. This is Shaman, a deck that is 0-4 here in HPL. It has not won a match.
And it's Mech Shaman of all things. There was a spider tank in his opening hand.
We haven't seen Mech Shaman though yet.
RDU looking to get very aggressive in this game. And with the way that Ostkaka's hand's constructed right now, RDU may have the time to get this done. But there's a Doomsayer and a Harrison Jones in each other's hands.
Yeah, if this Harrison Jones hits this Doomhammer, it's going to be, whew, what's the correct word to call that?
The blowout, I guess.
A giant blowout.
I mean, it's hard to lose a game where you take away that much damage and then also draw 6 cards. I mean, it's difficult, but again, the pressure that RDU is going to apply is really the big talking point for this game. If Ostkaka can fend it off, he finds himself in a great position, but if he can't fend it off, that's really where things can get ugly. Yeah. I fully expect him to shade an X Ramus this turn.
Yeah, picking up Innervate there here is a pretty big deal. He's going to be able to have some giant turns going forward.
Yeah, honestly, one of the reasons why it's such a big deal, by the way, is because he can play Piloted Shredder, coin a hero power, Innervate the hero power, and then run over it with the Shade. But RDU, fully aware of this, going to go with Piloted Shredder, try to get some resilience on the board and start pushing for damage. And also with Doom's Hammer and Double Rockbiter in his hand, he could just save both of those and go for a big 16-point turn.
Yeah, that is... I'm pretty positive that is exactly what he's planning on doing going forward from here.
Ostkaka got to fight off this board pressure. And honestly, I think unveiling the Shade right now is one of the best ways to do that. He understands that this is going to get dangerous if he leaves all this on the board, and he's going to start working on taking it out right now.
Yeah, love seeing this from Ostkaka. Let's get aggressive and start taking care of this board. You have to assume that you have a better late game.
Yeah, I think so as well. But, you know, speaking of aggression, Fireguard Destroyer is going to add a lot of power to the board.
This card always is the full Monty against me.
I think RDU is actually kind of hoping it's 6 power instead, because the last thing he wants to see is a big game hunter be eligible in this. 5/6, I think
I've never seen a 5/6 Fireguard Destroyer. It's always a 7/6. I didn't even know that card could be a 5/6.
I've seen one now, and Ostkaka doesn't have a way to actively fight against this board pressure. He actually may Savage Roar here and use hero power.
Like Savage Roar and hero power, or just the Wild Growth.
It could clean up almost the entire board. If he played Savage Roar and hero power, he could take out the front half of this Pilot Shredder and go from there. But with that Savage Roar in his hand, that's his signal to start getting aggressive. We got a race here, boys.
RDU, he can't use all of his mana here this turn. He is locked down, so he can't play something like Lotheb here. Yeah,
I think he's going to end up Lightning Bolting the Shade and then start fending off some of this pressure. The fact that he's seen this from Ostkaka, he has to know that something's up.
Yeah, whenever you see a Druid player be really aggressive in the mid game, you almost always know that they have Force of Nature, Savage Roar, or at least some piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, and just going to use his Fireguard Destroyer, understands that that minion is probably one of his least valuable ones. Ostkaka picks up Emperor Thorson, and if he pushes 4 damage to face right now and his minions live through this, he's going to have Force of Nature, Savage Roar on turn 7 to end this game.
I mean, if you play Emperor Thorson here, RDU has to attack it in some way, shape, or form. It has pseudo taunt. We talk about this a lot. There's no way you can let this sit on the board.
Well, I don't really know if he can be that worried about it though, because once it gets the value, he knows that Force Nature Savage Roar is there. So really the thing he's playing around is that combo, not necessarily the Emperor itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't leave these minions sitting on the board because the extra damage will kill you.
Yeah, but he's going to push for it and put the test to RDU. Is he want to handle this pressure? I mean, Lotheb, I think, handles a lot of this pressure well too. This is going to shut off that combo, and then he's looking at turn 7 Doomhammer and Double Rockbiter.
RDU has lethal in his hand that Ostkaka doesn't know about it. He doesn't have a Taunter, but he draws a Druid on a Claw.
But he still has to fend off this minion pressure. He's sitting at that life total where Doomhammer and Double Rockbiter is exactly 16 points of damage. I don't know if he can legitimately account for that though.
No, you definitely can't play around that at this point. You definitely won't see Ostkaka play around it. And honestly, I don't know if he can.
It doesn't look to me like he can either. You know, maybe if he gets a taunt out of the Piloted Shredder.
Nathan, we may be seeing the first win out of a Shaman class hero in HPL here tonight.
I mean, if there's a way to do it, this is the way it wants to do it too. Doomhammer and Double Rockbiter. So going to take his time and think through every single scenario. Through the Claw. Got to be taunted. That single point of damage has to go for face, and I think he's going to trade off with the Spider Tank here. I don't think you can leave this much pressure on the board.
Picks up a second taunter here that could be a
He's
big deal.
going for the Dome, though, and that's going to do it. RDU has 2 Doomhammers in this deck. That's going to be well more than enough damage. Ostkaka getting the bad news. I mean, you talk about big end game damage. This is it, boys. Watch out. RDU not only wins this match, but also picks up the first Shaman win so far here in HPL.
Just unbelievable stuff here. You know, going with Shaman, a class that is 0-4 here in HPL to complete this reverse sweep here against Ostkaka. Ostkaka won the first 2 games, RDU 3 straight after that.
Yeah, I think it's their second reverse sweep now we've seen in HPL. Green Sheep was actually the first player to do it, and RDU wildly mixing up his strategies, kind of finding the middle of the road here between his very aggressive decks and then his very controlled decks. But then Shaman, more of a mid-range strategy, wants to scale throughout the game. Doomhammer and double Rockbiter. That's well more than enough to get it done.